Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Finally found a server that wanted to host this series. We've got our second best of two of the evening, Ehome versus Big God. One of the more anticipated matchups, I think, in this group stage, and should be a lot of fun. I'm Zyori, now joined by LD. LD, what's the good word, man?
Oh, man, so many storied players on this Big God side, and, well, a storied name in Chinese Dota on the side of Ehome. A juggernaut dating back all the way to TI1. Ended up eventually disbanding. Some thought the brand was dead forever, but your Phoenix has risen from the ashes. And speaking of Phoenix, here they do run occasionally, so we'll see if Big God or Big Good, as they're calling themselves now, look to ban it out. But lots of cool stuff going on in this game. You've got Lanham and Burning facing off against their old teammate here in Mushi, and this is an exciting showdown. Now, taking a look at the group standings coming in, Big God are sitting at 10-7. They're right on the cusp. If they keep up this pace, I think they end up making their way to the LAN event, at least as a wildcard team, but they're also close to being knocked out of the top 6. And on the other side, Ehome is looking ridiculously strong. 15-2, absolute beast mode. The only team they lost to was the 19-6 CDAC. So Ehome clearly establishing themselves as one of the top 2-3 teams in this qualifier, along with a surprising streaking Tongfu, who's now 10-3.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw Big God square off against the mighty CDAC, and didn't go so well for him. CDAC looking very, very strong in both games. Big God opting for the Medusa. Burning played Medusa both games, and obviously backfired. They drafted her very early, and this time around they may try and switch things up a little bit. Fans have spoken. Ehome, the overwhelming favorites here, about 80-20 on the Dota 2 Lounge bets right now. So Big God's hoping for some sort of an upset, at least on paper.
Yeah, a Big God, obviously, this is a legendary lineup in terms of the overall individual skill and experience and just accomplishments, but it doesn't seem like they're a team that's practicing. It seems like they're a team that was put together to have some fun, maybe to kind of help the players, shake that rust off a little bit and get ready, but I don't expect we'll see them sticking together too much longer. There's a lot of rumors circulating. Xiao 8 has already announced he's coming back to competitive. After, I guess it was supposed to be around the time the Chinese New Year's hit. He's going to find his new team and settle in, and, well, RTK, not really sure about him. Lanham supposedly was retired. He was the one who straight up said he's retired, but Burning, kind of retired. Now looks like maybe he joins the new IG, which would be really exciting, but it's changes in the air.
Yes, it's all in a state of flux. There were talks of RTK and Burning trying to do some casting after TI4 completed, so still a lot of moving pieces and stuff that's up in the air, but still some fun Dota for us to watch. It was a first pick Tidehunter here for the Big Gods. Ehome pick up an early invoker Bat Rider. We saw a 5th pick Bat Rider in the series earlier, but here a lot of priority. Big God strike back right away with the Vengeful Spirit. No big surprise. She's been popular even outside of the Bat Rider, but Nether Swap, a very useful tool and trying to break that lasso. 3rd and 4th picks coming out. Ancient Apparition and Lion. 2 supports coming out.
Venge just is one of those supports that if she's in the pool, she gets picked every game. She is the most picked hero in this patch across, I'm pretty sure across all regions. If not the most picked in every region, then definitely close, but overall the most picked hero in the world in competitive Dota right now. So, with that said, they have the Lion Venge Tidehunter here. Very good lockdown. We've seen a lot of Medusa picks from this Big God team, and I gotta say it's had mixed results. The issue with the Medusa is she just feels very clunky, and earlier they're going to go for something different. They'll go for the Burning Anti-Mage.
Classic.
Well, last time we saw his Anti-Mage at TI4, it was a depressing sight. He ended up skilling up Mana Burn at level 1 against the Shadow Demon. They went aggressive trialing, and it was literally game over from the laning stage, so Burning, going to be looking for a little redemption here. Now, you go back one more TI, and Burning's Anti-Mage was the only... That game was the only time the Alliance dropped a set leading up until the Grand Finals, as DK took Game 2, forced a deciding Game 3, so he's been up and down with this hero. Historically, I think most would agree, either the best or one of the best few Anti-Mage players in the world, and, well, we'll see if he's still got it now.
Yeah, we certainly will. Ehome ban out Shadow Fiend with their 5th and final, and we'll see who Big God take out of the pool. It will be a support of sorts. I've already picked up the Ancient Apparition. Rubik is one that comes to mind for me. A good support duo in lane, setting up for those cold feats, and Rubik can be pretty damn strong against Tidehunter, Lion, and even the Anti-Mage. Stealing Blink is not too bad for the Rubik just to move around and be very irritating.
Yeah, there's a lot of good spells to steal here, as you mentioned, and also we tend to see Rubik picks with Ancient Apparition, because the one thing Rubik doesn't excel at is early game damage output. He's a very good setup hero. He can offer a lot of damage later on in the game, but in the laning stage, his auto attack's doesn't hit that hard. Fable doesn't do much until it's leveled up.
And there it is.
And great call there, buddy. They're going to ban it out, though. So Ehome going to make an adjustment. They probably want something that has some lockdown here. So you mentioned Rubik, he's banned, but maybe we see even like a Sand King or potentially an Earthshaker pickup, kind of a classic partner for the A. But when you're up against an AM, you definitely want to have as much lockdown as possible.
Yeah, the Sand King could be an option here, but whenever you have the Sand King Bat Rider, you have to share that jungle, and both of them will want to clear it out, get those big stacks going, and prioritize the Blink Dagger. A possibility, but something
something they'll have to weigh in their heads. And it depends if they think this Bat Rider will be able to stay in lane. And they'll go for the... I guess this is going to be a...
Jungle Ursa?
Oh, you know what? It's something Ehome have been doing a lot of lately. They like to run...
I feel like I saw
junglers from level 1. So Mushi played Ursa, and he just starts in the jungle. They end up having an extra lane to work with, so we'll likely see Invoker, Bat, and Ember taking the farm. AA is a very hard 5 position, and Ursa just off in the woods.
Okay.
I think Ehome's going to start getting punished for this soon enough, though. With the Lion Venge, the thing is you run like you hear like Ursa in the jungle. That means you're fighting 4v5 everywhere else on the map if they draft that way. And if you're up against a good roaming support duo, Ehome can and will be pressured a lot, potentially ganked early, and I think that's what you have to do if you're big god. Either you go into the jungle early and try and block off his camps and shut him down. Not sure that's really worth it for a jungle Ursa, or you just put pressure on the lanes to punish the fact that he's off the map.
Yeah, I feel like last time I saw the 4-position Ursa in the jungle, EG did it months ago in a game that I was casting. In that particular match, it worked really well. It's very snowbally. That's the way I think of it. Ursa gets a lot of momentum. Maybe he gets a 9-10 minute Roche, and all of a sudden this Ursa's running around with a fast Blink Dagger destroying your team. Or if they invade his jungle, he gets ganked. It can fall apart very quickly.
This is also the exciting thing for me is we're going to see the Inflame Invoker this time around. He was an absolute monster yesterday. I think he ended up going like 15, 2, and 12 against Invasion or something.
Oh my.
He likes to go for the Quaswex build, get the early Orchid out. It's good against Anti-Mage as well. You get the Orchid before he gets Manta, and he's in a lot of trouble. He's also up against a very mobile draft. I think this Anti-Mage is going to have a very difficult game.
Yeah, there's a lot of lockdown, as we've talked about. Even just the Ancient Apparition with the Shatter threshold, a little bit less damage you have to do the Anti-Mage to secure the kill, makes his life that much more difficult. And Ursa is a hero that can go man mode, and Anti-Mage is going to have to be very careful about how he positions himself in these team fights, how much he commits, and I don't know. Last pick, Beastmaster, here out for Xiao 8. Hero that I think is a bit more popular in the Chinese meta than a lot of the others.
Classic, the Beastmaster. This guy is a pioneer for the hero, dating back to the post-TI2 era, actually, when he was the leader. People were calling him Director 8 for LGD, but they came out of that international, and they were obviously very disappointed. They went undefeated in the group stage, but ended up only finishing 3rd place. They watched IG walk away with gold, Na'Vi with silver. Just didn't have it in the playoffs. Ultimately, Xiao 8 would go on to find some redemption at the International 4, but one of his go-to picks in the post-TI2 era was the Beastmaster mid, and this is where the nickname Director 8, which had already been big in the Chinese scene, though the name doesn't have the meaning you think. It was more meant tongue-in-cheek that basically Xiao 8 would script the action so that the team would like always throw early, but then it would make for a more epic storyline later on. So he's just writing the most dramatic script possible. That's where the name originally came from, but the thing is, apparently, this is actually the type of captain he really is a leader, and not just like, of course, all captains are leaders. That's a stupid statement, but just a very, very a player that just wants to control the game himself. So every single movement by Xiao 8's Beastmaster, that's the focal point of the entire game. Historically for LGD when he runs this hero. Normally goes solo mid. He used to go for the Inner Beast build early, skipping the Call of the Wild entirely. Now, I don't know if that's still the build with the change to it. You've now got the 2 spells to work with. You've got potentially the double boar and the double hawk as well. So there may be this may no longer be that exact same style, but we'll see. They do get some lockdown for Bat Rider initiations. If he jumps in, you can roar him at least so he doesn't get that Force Staff out or can't keep on dragging you further. Good versus Ember. Good versus
Ursa, too. If he goes for a BKB, that's a way to deal with the bear that usually gives few shits when he hops in.
Yes, but definitely doesn't. I think it's a decent Beastmaster game. It also gives you this nice aura stack. Inner Beast, as well as the Vengeful Spirits damage aura.
Yeah, that's
will
a good
make
point.
for a super burning, potentially.
Yeah, definitely. So have a DC here for Big God. As we mentioned earlier, had some server issues trying to load into this match. Hopefully this particular player can reconnect, though. Of all the times for our remake, this is kind of the ideal time before any blood is shed. Burning, using his burning set cosmetics here. That's how you know you have a signature hero. And what I like, I made this. I like that.
Does it actually say that?
Yeah, I made this. Look at that.
That's so cute.
Watched 58 games. How does Burning watch games of himself? That's
a little narcissistic.
What I don't quite understand here about these weapons.
Burning. And here I am, singing your praises.
I made this. That's really funny. Oh my.
I don't know, Andrew.
Yeah.
I've lost some respect here for the self-aggrandizing Burning, watching himself too much. No,
so who's who on the Dire side here with these names? OU, Feng, and Yang.
So OU is Ohio.
Okay.
Feng is Mushi.
Okay.
And Yang is ZYF, the one position player.
Okay.
ZYF, he's a pretty solid and reliable player. It does remind me a bit of KYXY in terms of the fact that everything with Mushi's teams tends to revolve around him in some way. I think DK marked a bit of a departure from that, but it's generally where he excels. When he has very stable, consistent teammates who don't make too many big mistakes, then he can be an aggressive playmaker, and I think that's where Mushi really shines. So I have to say, I think this Ehome lineup is very legit, here to stay, and they're doing well in this qualifier. Obviously, they haven't faced a lot of the top Chinese teams. They ended up taking home the D2L championship. Of course, that was not the most stacked tournament in the world, but
yeah, well, any 4-team
they're
tournament.
They're a stock rising team to me. This is a team that could make a deep run. I think they can easily be top 4 in China, if not better. And if they stay together, if they practice consistently, and they'll have the benefit of good practice conditions, as I believe they are living and training in China. So
yeah,
that's the one issue with the Southeast Asian teams, man. Is aside from all the internet issues, end of the day, the practice conditions are just better. Like you look at Rave right now, and it's basically an all Pinoy team, but they're in Korea, right? And not to say that they're not just really good as well, but it definitely helps when you can live in a team house, you have good internet, you can they get to play against the Chinese teams all the time, apparently, so these types of things do make a big difference.
Yeah, that's the other thing. When you're an SEA exclusive team, even just scrimming with Chinese teams, lag is a big issue. It's a tough part of the world to be make a living over the internet when you're a series of islands and you got cables getting nibbled on by crabs and whatnot.
Crabs.
Oh, the crabs.
I missed the Star Ladder.
I missed that production suite. I know, the crabs. They're perfect for pauses like this. And
people thought Kato Guy invented them because it had been so long since we used them at the beginning of this year. The people are like, oh, Kato Guy, he came up with these funny crabs.
I guess it does fit he uses the soundboard. Yeah, it kind of fits his shtick a little bit, but no, he did not invent the. Well, I don't know what's the right word for it. I mean,
shtick's the right word.
Yeah,
it sounds a little demeaning.
Yeah, there is a negative connotation around the word shtick. I guess
I have a shtick. It's okay.
It fits his thing. His personality.
Double entendre.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, the little
so many
cool.
signature heroes this game, though. The Inflame Invoker was ridiculously good at D2L. Even better yesterday. The Mushi Ursa, a TI4 classic. ZYF Ember, not really something that stands out to me. It's super iconic. Ohio Bat Rider, pretty iconic. The Burning Anti-Mage, the Xiaowei Beastmaster. I feel like I've gone into a history book here. And even the ROTK Tidehunter.
Yep, man, I was just thinking.
All we're missing is the Lamb Shaker, but we got that last game. Right?
Yep.
Or maybe it was 2 games.
He played it at least one of them. I think it was the second game. Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, finally, after that long pause, we're going to get into our first game. This is a 2-game series. I like to call it best of 2, and I guess it's a slightly misleading title, but 2 games for this group stage, and this is number 1. BG all headed down to the bottom lane. On the Dire side, Ehome will do things a little more predictable, perhaps. Ohio, he'll take the Bat Rider to the off lane, has some wards here, and looks like he'll try to get this first observer down before BG come to intercept. Will he be successful, though? They are ready to defend.
Both
Sentry?
teams, no, they're worried about the Roshan attempt. You're up against an Ursa.
Oh, yeah.
You got to at least scout it out. So good disciplined play here by ROTK.
And Ohio.
You know, actually, that reminds me of TI4 as well. And I feel like I'm having a nostalgia trip here. Vici Gaming, teams tried to level 1 Rosh on them twice in the group stage. And both times they got shut down. And then you remember Cloud9 tried to go for the level 1 Rosh against them and also got screwed by it.
Yep.
In the playoffs.
Yep.
Sad memories.
Sad memories.
Or was it Cloud9, right? Or was it EG? I think it was Cloud9.
I think it was Cloud9. Now that I'm
doubting.
Now
myself,
I'm second guessing.
I'm pretty sure it was Cloud9. Either way, point is, don't level 1 Roche against RTK's teams. Lesson learned.
So Radiant side, we got Big God. That's going to be Anti-Mage. The Burning, he'll be in the safe lane, farming away. Ice on the Vengeful Spirit, one of Xiao 8's buddies. Not Ice 3, as I mistakenly thought he was in the first series. Lanem on the Lion. It'll be a safe lane try. That'll put Xiao 8 mid on the Beastmaster, and off lane, of course, ROTK on the big old Tidehunter.
All right, and well, with that said, we can introduce our Dire side. The hero to keep an eye on for me is going to be this Inflame Invoker going mid. Expect the Quaswex build. Expect that early Orchid, and if he gets it, going to be a tough game for Burning, amongst others. In the offlane, you've got Ohio, Mr. OU on the Bat Rider. Off in the woods, it's going to be Mushi doing that choke point jungling stuff. He's picked up a Quelling Blade, as well as the early Stout, and just trying to take as little damage as possible from these creeps. Yang, or ZYF, going to be playing your Ember Spirit in the safe lane, and that does leave DDC on a very hard support Ancient Apparition. He's got his work cut out for him here. So, I want to talk about Mushi's Ursa a little bit. What we can expect to see is he will level up Overpower and Fury Swipes very heavily. He'll go for Phase Boots. He's going to... Oh, bottom lane, there's a Fissure. Or not a Fissure, but just a Venge moving in. My eyes deceive me. He'll go for the early Phase Boots. He'll get a Mask of Death, or Morbid Mask, and he will look for the Roshan. Not right away. You probably will try to gank mid with Inflame, and if he gets the kill or two, then he'll look towards the Roshan. So just something to keep an eye on. He doesn't go for any points in Earthshock, which you normally would do if you're a solo mid Ursa, but you don't really have the mana to support it off in the woods.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Blink Dagger, a very core item in the arsenal after Lifesteal, BKB. Well, before the Beastmaster, I would have said, yeah, good game for it. Probably still worth it to pick up just to try to deal with the Tidehunter a bit more effectively. But we'll see how this works out. With the jungling Ursa, it's great if it goes unchecked. You can farm very, very quickly, and BG don't really have a great lineup to punish this.
Well, they do have the Lion Venge and 2 smokes. I think they should be looking to punish this. They're up against an Invoker mid. He is Quaswex, so not the easiest to kill, but as soon as the Beastmaster starts level 6, they should be looking to set up something there, or potentially even go for something sooner on the bat. But if Ohio plays this correctly, it's very hard to kill him, and Ohio has been magnificent in the offlane. I think the quiet hero for this team, he barely dies. He was an offlane Enigma yesterday up against 2 really good ganking supports and didn't die once in the laning stage. In fact, ended up racking up 2 assists, as Mushi will make that first move, picks up the Invisor, and
Lux into an Invis.
This is how Mushi likes to play on his Ursa. Very aggressive.
Yeah, 2 points in the Fury Swipes. Courier on the way in, goes down first. No cargo on it, but a nice little pick-me-up for Ehome. Xiao 8 will live. No first blood, but I think they'll be okay with just getting a Courier pick this early on.
Yeah, at least he manages to get the bottle first. Mushi not able to kill it off in time. It could have been a total disaster if he didn't.
Yeah.
Still, not good for Beastmaster.
Certainly not. Safe lane farmers on par with one another within 1 or 2 last hits. The Anti-Mage and the Ember Spirit. Lanem just working the jungle right now. Maybe getting some stacks up. No, actually didn't stack at this rotation, so there's the smoke.
Their lineup they do have good heroes to farm stacks, but it's mainly the Tidehunter and the Beastmaster, and they may just look to stack these Ancients, and I don't know if Xiao 8's really going to spend much time jungling, so yeah, I think the Ancient's the main thing they'll be looking for, as RTK is getting a lot of levels in this offlane. To be honest, he's doing very well, considering the lane. There's a lot of magic damage from these two, but without that great initiation, Ember not particularly high level in a dual lane, they can't really punish him.
Long movement from Lanem and Ice. They'll rotate to the top and rendezvous with ROTK, who is halfway through 4. Still not quite at that Ravage point, but does get a point in Gush earlier on than you'll see most Tides, and maybe in anticipation of this smoke rotation. The smoke will expire, but they're ready to move. And with
it's daytime. They got to wait until it's night here to go.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to smoke again. It's a double smoke commitment for this.
Whoa.
Just to kill an Ancient Apparition, I don't even know if that's worth it, to be honest, but they'll go on DDC here, and he should go down.
In comes Ember, though. He gets stunned up. DDC will die. First blood drawn by Ice, but Ember Spirit wants some counter kills here, and he may end up going down. Now Mushi joining the party. A lot of low health heroes, but can he actually isolate one to find the kill? Inflame will go up top for the first support.
I've seen this movie before, Inflame. Last time he played the Invoker, he got a quick double on a haste turn, and it's going to happen again. This guy summoning the Spirit of S4. What a time for a haste. He loves to rotate on his Invoker early. I think he moves around more on the hero than anybody else at this stage of the game. And I mean, hey, you got a haste turn. It's just a gift.
Yep.
That is not worth it at all for BG. Double smoke commitment. They also give away so much space to Ohio in the offlane. And yeah, they get the first blood, but this game is looking like it's pretty even in terms of golden experience, but it is not looking good just in terms of how they're using the map so far.
Yeah, and I mean, the Invoker getting 2 kills by himself, that's even though it's a 2 for 2, Invoker getting both those kills is just so valuable for Ehome. Now he goes back mid, he's almost level 6, has his phase boots complete, and he can feel pretty damn good, topping the net worth chart with a nice little bump over the Beastmaster already, who is still just shy of level 6.
Yeah, and Ohio at this point, you were talking about stacks earlier. We haven't seen any by you were talking about them for the Radiant. I haven't seen any for the Dire, though. It's something Mushi could maybe look to do, just stack up for the Batrider a bit, but he's focusing on his own farm, and he is using this camp for himself, so I'm not sure if you could actually fit the stacking in and still keep your Ursa efficiency up, but it will hurt the Batrider a bit if he needs to retreat to the woods. For now, though, he seems to be okay.
Yeah, halfway through level 3, just Tranquil Boots. Sort of slow going for the Batrider. Won't have an 8 or 9 minute blink or anything like that.
Yeah, the big saving grace for BG is that ROTK is getting good levels. He's already 6 in the off lane, and it's because this Ursa's jungling. There's just not nearly as much pressure as there could be if this was a proper support.
Yeah. So all about trade-offs. Ehome still getting something out of it. Ohio utilizing this camp very well. 4 stacks, but now they'll try to initiate on him, using this ledge so well. Burning will get the bounty rune, and Ohio okay for now. No Firefly, though, and we'll have to kiss Burning.
Ohio is creating a lot of space here for his team. Keeping the supports busy, they're actually going to use another smoke. A big commitment. They're already out of smokes here. This is their last one for 5 minutes, and they will use it to go on Mr. ZYF. They Ravage, huge commitment, getting the kill.
Primal Roar, Ravage, and a smoke for that Ember Spirit.
That's 3 smokes in like 2 minutes.
They really wanted him dead.
The thing is, I don't know if Ehome realized it was a double smoke to get top, so they may, because they didn't see the first one.
Yeah,
obviously they knew there was at least one, since you know, the heroes appeared out of smoke, but they can't assume it, and so they may have to play a bit more defensively, even though in fact they're as close to safe as you're going to get.
Yeah, Ohio walks into enemy territory, does get off the Firefly, but still hexed up. No mana on the Beastmaster, making this kill possibility a bit more moot, but Ice, he comes in, secures the kill with the Batrider, now in Flame pressing forward, EMP on 3 heroes, and in comes the Ember Spirit to take out the trash. Tornado on 2, Ice eats a few stick charges, buys him some time, but will not keep him alive. In Flame will end up going down as ROTK TPs in, even Burning joining the party, and after this extended exchange, it will end with a dead Invoker.
It seems like it might seem like overkill that even Burning joins that, but they needed him to come there. They had to slow down that Invoker. Anti-Mage doesn't come there now. He's going to be the one who suffers later on. So I love the rotation by Burning, and it ends a dominating streak for the Invoker.
Just going to say, now all of a sudden Burning topping the net worth chart. So that rotation, very worth it for him. Going for a pretty stat-heavy build here. 3 points in stats, so a little tankier than you'd expect your Anti-Mage to be. Yeah, Lanham. Oh, he's got an... well, Ursa...
Mushi just loves to move on this Ursa. It kind of reminds me of how a lot of the Chinese teams played the 4-position Doom, where they get the Tranquils, Orb of Venom, and they're just constantly harassing.
Ohio still making a lot of space, distracting 3 heroes. Firefly down for another 10. There's the Primal Roar. Roche deny, not going to help him out. Zhao 8 secures the kill, but In Flame comes in. Tornado on 3. Does he have the EMP? He sure does. Now Mushi's here on the Ursa, and they'll settle for Ice as their first target, but Burning out of mana and cold snapped. A bottle charge will come his way, and he'll at least have enough mana to blink, and just the Venge will get picked.
Well, and good news for BG, there's no Morbid Mask of Mushi. Otherwise, he probably walks into the Roche pit here, because Ravage is down, Venge is dead, Anti-Mage can't really contest. In fact, Roar is even down as well, so it would be a perfect time to Roche, but no Masking. No Morbid Masking.
And mid lane now, Lanham in some trouble. Cold Snap will set up an easy set of Searing Chains, and Lion dies in the mid. Now stun onto the Ember. He'll live, and instead they'll turn it around onto the Venge. Mushi coming in to join the party. Ursa with his phase boots on. Wants the Venge, but can't get it.
Yeah, didn't have the Cold Snap cooldown. Still about 8 seconds off or so there. Bit unfortunate, but nonetheless, it's Burning free farming. And if you're ever going to give anyone free farming into it, Burning has got to be at the very bottom of that list. And at this rate, Voidstone going to be coming out soon. He'll have like looks like a 12-ish minute Battle Fury or so. Maybe even a bit sooner if he gets the tower or another kill. That, for Ehome, is where they need to make sure they get the Invoker Orchid, the Batrider Blink, and just get the Ember active and ganked with the AA ulti before the Manta comes out. Once Manta comes out, they're going to need a Hex on Invoker, and that's something you're going to have trouble farming in a timely fashion up against an Anti-Mage, because by the time you get Hex, he's probably got 2 or 3 more items.
Yeah.
So they need to keep the pressure up and burning. Can't lose sight of the objectives here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, we're gonna see Yang just looking to hold the line here in the bottom lane, Burning. taking some harassment from the tower, but he'll just calmly walk away. So they are playing rather defensively right now. Batrider off the map, 10 minutes in. Ancient Apparition ulti online, and they're not really feeling particularly safe.
For me.
All right, so unfortunately, guys, we have a slightly longer delay, so hopefully this will fix the buzzing issue that we've been having. And in the jungle, Ohio going to take a finger to the face. Lanham gets a freebie there as he roams into the dire jungle, just TP's home, and that'll be a clean kill for the Radiance line.
Yeah, getting him online now, having the finger up, and using that first finger quickly. It's an important thing to do. Just getting on cooldown, making plays. One of the longest level 1 cooldown ultimates in the game, sitting at 160 seconds, especially for something that's not a big AoE teamfight spell, but well worth it there.
So up top, Beastmaster initiated on, EMP will not connect, so Zyori will be just fine. How's the Invoker's progress towards the Orchid? Not too bad. Oblivion staff up already, another 700 gold at 11 minutes. Should be coming out at a pretty decent timing.
He will definitely have some time, assuming he keeps this up and doesn't die. Where Burning does not have his Manta style yet, and they can potentially go for some kills. Here's a smoke against the BG though, moving towards the dire jungle. Xiao8, the director leading the charge. The pings come out, the observer ward up the hill. They saw Mushi pass by here. So they want Mushi though. Is it worth committing all these spells for a jungle Ursa? I suppose so. Let's see. They're going to go for it. In the meantime, your tower bottom is denied.
Yep, and Earth Spirit in hot pursuit wants the Venge and won't find it there. Now back to the top lane. Gush right onto Mushi to get it started. Xiaowait's there with the Primal Roar, and it's going to be an easy pick on Fuzzy Wuzzy. So at least they got what they came for.
Flame now prowling about this Radiant Woods. He's looking for some solo pickoffs. Burning not the target he really wants. They also do get eyes on Ice, but that's too close to the tier 2.
Yeah, TP coming in. Lanham will join the party. No finger for another 60. That's okay. Ice Blast from the AA will come in and scout things out a little bit as Inflame camps the bottom rune. He may just have to eat it for himself. Nope, saves it for the Ember Spirit.
Never refuse gold.
And no skirmish going to break out. Xiao8 just pushing the top lane as Ehome kind of rendezvous in the mid, and maybe this is where Mushi looks to move into the Roche pit.
Yeah, so he has adjusted his build from the old days. We're not seeing the Inner Beast Max anymore. He gets a value point in it, but first make sure he gets the level 2 Hawk, as they will rush. Mushi into the pit, Flame by his side. They're going to try to fight top at the same time.
Yep, Ohio smoked up. Invisibility Rune rather starts it off onto Xiao8. EMP. There's the Ravage from ROTK. Makes some space, and Xiao8 will actually live off this. Meanwhile, in the Rush pit.
Is coming in though. Can they get this big snipe?
Tower is under attack.
I don't know if it's enough.
I don't think I'm not so sure that'll be enough damage. While we're looking at that, Lion does fall outside of the Roche pit. And now this should open up Roche for Mushi. Nope, no shatter on Xiao8.
Alright, so he lives. That value point booster, paying for itself here. He will go towards the Aghanim Scepter. I think the longer range is pretty nice against Batrider in particular. Also good against Ember, because he's got the instant ability to jump away with Remnant. There's no cast animation on that spell, so being able to ult him from around the tree line or outside of his ward vision or tower vision, very important. So I think it can work. The other main option, I feel, if you want to go for a ganking item, is the Blink Dagger, which with no mana cost is definitely a viable choice, but we'll see how this one works out. Of course, the Ag's cooldown is pretty nice, done in 4 or 5 seconds, but at this stage of the game, you're not likely to have a fight where you use it twice. This will using it twice is more for those later game team fights with buybacks and tanky heroes that stay alive longer.
Yeah. So, as you can see, enemy Anti-Mage has a stout shield. Valuable insight from our observer here. He also has a Battle Fury, which is maybe more important that he's picked up here at the 13-minute mark, alongside his Power Treads. Really good timing for Burning, topping that net worth by a good bit now. 7.2k compared to the other leading farmers at about 5.5. 1, 0, and 1. It all goes back to ending that dominating streak on the Invoker. That's what really gave him that big boost to the top of the chart that he's been holding.
And slowed down the Orchid.
Yes.
It's a two-pronged thing there, as they do need to get this Orchid out, though. That, as well as the Batrider Blink. Very slow Blink from Ohio at 14 minutes and still not having it. He did slow down the enemy supports. He did not do anything to slow down Bernie, which off-lane Bat just can't do that against the tri-lane. But I worry a bit for them. I feel like they need to get this Orchid and almost immediately start finding a couple of kills. The team fight of BG is so strong. You get a farmed Anti-Mage. Remember, he's going to be a bit of a super AM, thanks to the Venjar, the Inner Beast, and they have just tons of lockdown to ensure that Ehome will not be able to simply jump away from those fights.
Yeah. Now both teams have their Blink Daggers on their initiators, the Tide Hunter and the Bat Rider here, respectively, just coming out. ROTK does not have a Ravage at the moment, but only about 10 more seconds until he does. As Ehome all grouped up in the mid lane. They've got a couple of smoked heroes. Mushi perhaps making another go for the Roche Pit, but with the Beastmaster makes things a little more difficult for him as he does have that Hawk to continually scout it out. Wanum, whoa, gets a ward down, but nice stun will stop Mushi and DDC dead in their tracks. Still gets fingered and throws out a finger rather to bring down the Ancient Apparition. Makes it a 1-for-1 trade.
Really nice play by Ravage. That's Ravage used mid lane. RTK, he Ravaged first, then he blinked in. I don't know if he blinked back or canceled because he blinked in like right afterwards. So I think just a miscue there from RTK. A costly one at that. Really nice play by Lanham though. I think most Lion players, most supports that situation, they would have panicked and tried to run, but he realizes he's not getting out of there. Batrider's a blink, so goes in for the kill on the Ancient Apparition and pulls it off. Great recognition by him. Yeah. Meanwhile, on the Radiant side, they go for the Ancients, but it's been scattered out by Ehome Burning. If he gets hit by this Ice Blast, he could shatter perhaps, will blink away. Zhao 8 and Ice in a lot of trouble. In comes the Ember Spirit, easy double for him, and making the space they need for Mushi to finally get into that Roche Pit and make it happen. 2-0 outside of the Ancients. Ehome have a really good handle on just the peaks and valleys of this game as far as when lineups get strong. They know when Ravage is down, BG really struggle to take team fights. And the other thing is they know they need to be keeping the pressure up with those anti-mage. So even though Burning ends up living and remains your leader in net worth, having the anti-mage is still a liability. He can't bring much to team fights. He needs to be off split pushing. He may actually get caught. Oh, not just going to go for the courier. Gets the kill. And it was carrying something big. It actually had his Yasha Burning. That's at least 3 minutes without the Manta. And in fact, he just has gold now for the recipe. Oh my, this could be costly.
Yes,
that's a fast Manta.
Very unfortunate.
Oh no, sorry, he still needs to deal with it, but he's still on track. He's got the Manta recipe. I was getting excited.
I say, wow, he has a full Manta. That is, his farm's even better than I thought.
Yeah, no, he's gonna have like a 20-minute Manta though, even sooner at this rate.
Yeah, so Inflame, if he had the Orchid there, it would have been a different story. But now has it done. Once he gets his turn with the courier, it'll be delivered, and we'll see him just continue to utilize this Ghost Walk.
The Yasha also accelerates your farm. So losing your Yasha means you don't clear camps quite as quickly. It takes a few extra swipes. You can't necessarily make that full rotation through the woods in time. So even just losing the Yasha will hurt his farm speed quite a bit here.
Yeah, that's a great time to pick off the courier for sure. So there's your Orchid up. Batrider, no progress towards the Force Staff yet. And still hasn't been able to do too much with this Blink Dagger. Ohio setting the trap down bottom as it looks like Ehome want to pressure this tower, try to bait something out with Mushi, but BG will be on the other side of the map, focusing on their Ancients and pressuring the top lane.
Radiant's bottom tower
so Mushi aggressively pushing the bottom lane, as you mentioned, and this is where you have to leave somebody near the AM. I'm not sure if they saw the Orchid, but you should expect Invoker to have one around this time, certainly by the 20-minute mark if he's having a good game, which Inflame is. So you have to park heroes behind the AM, or Bernie just has to know where this Invoker is. So when he's not showing, they kind of have to stay near Bernie. We're going to see them probably running around 3-4 behind him at pretty much all times. Unless they advise on the bat the Invoker.
Yeah, Mushi will be able to take down this tier 1 tower bottom, it looks like, and unless BG pull in a rotation, they won't even bother to glyph it as they pressure the tier 2 top, and Ehome will come for defense. Anti-Mage blinks back right away as Ursa first to TP in. Mushi does have a Blink Dagger, though, has been pretty quiet with it so far.
Yeah, he can't really jump in first. Until he gets a BKB, like, what is he going to do when he jumps in? They're going to Hex him, impale him, roar him, slow him with the boars, swap if they need to defensively, stun him, and ravage him. And even get Anchor Smashed. You just can't initiate if you're the Ursa. When he gets BKB, then they don't have much on him. They just have roar, and yeah, they can roar him, but that's just he's a big spell tank at that point, and it frees up everyone else to dish out the real damage on the backline. So I think Mushi will almost be a red herring if they try to blow too much on him once he has that BKB.
Yeah. So BG just going back to farming, get a Sentry and an Observer down on their plateau to make sure their jungle stays safe, but little do they know, we've got some intruders. Ohio smoked up with some support right behind him. They clear the trees. Zhao 8 caught inside of the lasso, pulled to the other side of the ravine. A great place to take a fight. Even gets hit by an Ice Blast to make it an easy kill for the Ember Spirit with a double damage rune on to boot. That'll put him very close to Battle Fury territory as AM does now complete the Manta style.
Well, I wasn't that far off. About 2 minutes past, man. He's farming like a beast. He doesn't have it on him, though,
Zyori
and it
chains.
cost him.
Silence, the swap back from Benj. Almost saves him, but the Tornado secures the kill from the Invoker. In Flame, making the plays happen. Puts Burning in the grave. Now they're going on to Ice. And, whoa, Ravage and Finger stops the streak on the Ember Spirit, and ROTK with a pretty penny now to his name.
Big plays there. Oh, man. Killing that Anti-Mage couldn't have come at a better time. Literally right as the Manta Style's ready. That hurts. Well, it won't be so easy to kill him now. At this point, Ehome, they could still get him with a Blink Lasso. Outside of that, you're looking towards a Hex on your Invoker next. And the reason I keep on talking about the AM is because he's the one hero that can split push this game. Everyone else is going to have a tough time doing this. Looks like Mushi will get trapped.
They're going on to Mushi, but Inflames there, throws out the Tornado. Ice Blast connects on ROTK. A lot of TPs coming in from BG. That'll be the end of the Aegis. Mushi coming back to life as Inflame throws out an EMP. Not going to find much with it. Mushi will TP or blink as soon as he comes back to life.
They have a swap.
They're in hot pursuit, but he swaps ROTK looking for the stun. Cold Snap stops Ice dead in his tracks. Still stuns on Inflame, but Mushi ready to reinitiate. Zhao 8, Orchided right away. I think Ehome will just back out here. ROTK coming over the Gush. Now Ember Spirit back and ready to fight. Goes right into the front lines, doing so much AoE damage. Ohio with a lasso onto the high ground. It's BG getting cleaned up here. Burning now coming back in, finds DDC. Might be able to get a support pick off. ROTK kind of in his way, but they'll find the kill there. Meanwhile, diving the tower up top. BG losing the last of their teammates there. Mr. Beastmaster now Burning coming back in. The Orchid from Inflame on the low ground keeps him silenced. Now the Tornado comes in. Inflame on the run, wants to TP home. Force that to buy him some space. Almost, but not quite. Now a triple kill for Burning. Him and ROTK will be the last survivors.
Burning starting to pull away with this one. The 21-minute Manta. Now he's got 1,500 gold up. You're going to see either that heart or butterfly coming out. Maybe even looks towards the BKB, though. Knowing Burning, probably not. He's getting there. He's getting there quickly as well. And I think Ehome can deal with the farmed anti-mage late game, but to do that, you're looking at needing like an Invoker Hex, a Batrider BKB, Ember Spirit with some actual damage items, Ursa with a Hex or some damage items of his own, and it's just a long way off.
Yeah.
This could well go BG's way.
One of those fights where it started where they were like, yeah, they killed the anti-mage, that's great. And the rest of that fight started to break out as Burning was coming back to it. So he ends up getting to the fight to kind of play that trash collector and just clean up. And him dying almost was a good thing in the end, as it allowed him to end with a triple kill. And now look at that net worth. He's huge, huge. 13K compared to the 8K of the Ember Spirit. It was even just moments ago.
It's just been like the ideal anti-mage game. He gets free farm bottom lane. He's not really pressured at all in the laning stage. They honestly have not done anything to slow Burning down. They've been focusing on punishing the fact that BG have an anti-mage by going for Roshan, by running the jungling Ursa. But is the trade-off really worth it? Because they end up giving up a dominating streak to the anti-mage mid. He's just, when he's joined fights, it's been very low time investment. He immediately goes back to the bottom lane and continues farming. It's when an anti-mage has a game this efficient, it's a tough hero to shut down.
Yeah.
Especially in Burning's capable hands.
Burning just TPs to the top lane alongside the Vengeful Spirit and the Tide Hunter. Find a little bit of farm there and maybe go for a potential kill. ROTK does have a Ravage, and he's closing in on a Refresher here. Oblivion Staff, Ring of Health with 1,200 gold. Not really that far away.
Yeah, Refresher will be pretty big. Ehome have quite a few heroes that need to be in the middle of the fight. The most crucial heroes are the ones that do. The Batrider, the Ember, the Ursa. Ember can kind of kite you, and Ursa will have a BKB, but at some point you're just gonna have to jump on this BG team and try to go for those kills. Otherwise, the Ursa pick becomes useless. And with the BKB, I guess his main goal becomes trying to either assassinate this Tide or at least keep him out of the fight.
Bottom in flame. Yeah, he'll get dusted as he goes into Ghost Walk form. The Finger's there. Also, the Primal Roar makes it an easy kill for Zyori. Shut down that Invoker. Nice gank rotation from BG.
Yeah, really nice. They get the Aghs now. It's pretty slow by Zyori, considering he naked rushed it. He's sitting very low net worth, and that is the worry for BG. You've got a fat anti-mage. There's going to be a window this game where they get the Tide Refresher, and the anti-mage is his third or fourth item. But you go beyond that, you're running a Tricore, essentially, with the Batrider as the main initiator, and one carry against a Batrider, difficult to deal with. That's going to come down to the bench being good with the swaps, but it's only a level 1 swap, so it's not easy for Ice to counter-initiate that bat.
Yeah, and Ice not looking to be level 11 anytime soon, only partway through 8. There's the BKB up on the Ursa, so now things get a little bit more tricky for BG. As we've talked about, a couple of tools to deal with it. Well, the big tool to deal with it is that Primal Roar. Now the Aghanim Scepter comes out at a great time to give him that utility, but we'll see how this works out. Tier 1 tower in the mid goes down, burning. He'll get the last hit.
There.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Now they've just wasted a glyph.
Well, tier 1, so...
No, they used it too late, so now, yeah, it's gone. Lasso coming in, Swap will break it, but Mushi goes in, Ravage flies through, but doesn't do a hell of a lot. Venge first to go down, ROTK taking a lot of damage, Xiao 8 locked in place from the Cold Snap. Fast 2 for nil, and it's soon to be 3. Down he goes as that Watermelon gets sliced up. Long-range Tornado, not going to catch Lanham, but kind of a close call. Burning says, well, I'll farm
Ancient.
Ancient.
Show now, man. That fight going against them that heavily, Refresher is going to be delayed. But Burning does the right thing. As soon as he sees his team starting to die, he pushes in bottom lane. He's going to at least try to draw Ehome back. The problem is, he can't really contest this Rosh on his own. So, he doesn't end up taking a tower. No real objectives. At least the blunting any sort of Ehome push coming mid. But they're going to need Anti-Mage to fight soon. And he is pretty much ready. 4,800 gold. I wonder what he goes for. I think you go Butterfly this game. It's the better split push item, and you're up against a lot of physical damage. Ember, Ursa, obviously a lot of right click, and Questwix Evoker with the Orchid phase actually hits pretty hard too. So I think this is a Butterfly first game, but the other main option I would say is the Basher or the BKB. I don't think you go Heart here.
No, I don't think so either. Hard against Ursa, and he can still kind of man mode you. It's, yeah.
It's the safest choice. So if he wants to just be super safe, okay, he'll go BKB. BKB, Butterfly, Abyssal, I think that's your build here if you're burning.
Yeah, gives you some lockdown, still fairly tanky. I definitely agree. So looking at Dire Wards, they've got pretty decent vision. They've got this one that's kind of just in this access point to the Radiant Secret Shop. Soon to expire. They'll see Shagbark fly over with the BKB on it. I'm not sure if they caught wind of it, but will be revealed shortly. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Ehome just pressuring the Tier 2 tower, and the rest of their team making rotations to support them should BG choose to make a defense. BG with a similar idea, but in the mid lane. Both teams trying to get aggressive. ROTK, he might walk right into it, though. The bird scouts out a little, gets taken out.
Ooh, the Shadowblade Ember.
Radiant's
I
bottom
have
tower
never
is
seen
under
this
attack.
before. ZYF.
I don't think I've ever
Radiant's
seen it
bottom
either. This is
tower
one of those,
has
I wonder how many
fallen.
times it's been bought on this hero in competitive.
I'm going to check that right now.
It can't be many.
No.
If it's in the single digits, I wouldn't be surprised, frankly.
Shadowblade's one of those
top
items that can be
tower is under
amazing late
attack.
game, especially if the other team loses their gem. Because supports often don't have inventory slots for gem, and even if they do, they're normally the ones you can kill easily. So let's take a look here at the...
It's one of those items that can really catch people off guard, especially when it's on a hero you don't normally see it on. We'll see what Ember can do with it. Other implications, he already has his Battle Fury first, so has that farming tool, and can move into something else after this.
Yeah, I'm just doing my quick research here.
Do some research, and I'm actually really curious about that one. Both teams...
Shadowblade has been bought 3 times ever on Ember Spirit in 0.3% of games.
And that's all time?
This is out of, like, thousands of Ember Spirit games. Ladies and gentlemen, you're witnessing history.
Yeah, not the first ever, but
I'm trying to understand why he goes for the...
I was just thinking that. Why this game in particular?
I think the main idea is so that he can, like, jump into fights and then Shadowblade out. Basically, you don't want to man mode fight the anti-mage, and you want to just keep on slowly getting sleight of fist damage off throughout the fight. So this gives you more split push potential.
What about the backstab? If you use it and then sleight of fist, do you get a bit of extra damage from that?
I don't actually know.
Is that perhaps what he's
if you slight while you're Shadowbladed? I think if it did apply, it would only be on the first hit, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, that's kind of a funky
mechanic.
mechanic.
If it applied on every hit, we'd see more of it.
Oh, bump right into Burning. That'll be an easy kill. Locked down by the lasso, and the bear going ham.
They do have a gem on Beastmaster as well, and traditionally Beastmaster with a gem is one of the better map controllers and can punish a lot of invis here.
Bottom
So.
tower is
Obviously,
under
Ember has
attack.
multiple ways to escape, so it's not like he's relying entirely on invisibility, but... Well, he's using it as a very offensive tool, it seems, now swinging towards top.
Yeah, it looks like he just wants to join the roaming squad with the Invoker. You can go Ghostwalk, he'll go Shadowblade, and, well, Ice definitely going to go down as Inflame. Gets a few more licks in. Okay.
Got him.
Yep. I was like, is that Soul Burn going to be enough? But Sleight of Fist, certainly plenty.
This is going to be really hard for BG soon. Also, The issue with the BKB on Burning is if he doesn't get it off,
Radiant's
it's
top
pretty
tower
useless
is under
item, which-
attack.
Yeah.
Like some games, you have a BKB and they jump you, but they can't necessarily kill you, right? So it's not always useless if you don't get it off. But because you can often pop it later on and live and turn the fight. But this game, he's up against so much
Radiant's top
physical
tower
damage and
has
just
fallen.
long duration lockdown that if they get the lasso, he's just dead at this stage. Whereas if he has like a butterfly there, and maybe he ends up surviving. Either way, a tough situation. Get this BKB hoping to fight. Now he's got a Basher. Burning gonna go for the Abyssal Blade, and I mean, then he's gonna get a Butterfly, and that's pretty much it as far as his item progression will go this game. There's not too much farther to go.
Now, Mushi does have about 4,000 gold, and Ursa can carry an MKB without too many issues, so could just be pulling up that gold, trying to stay a step ahead, may even just want to move into it preemptively here for the Butterfly. Starts getting created, still a long way to go before that Abyssal comes out on Burning. So, yeah, Ember Shadowblade, right? Just using it as a mobility tool.
It does help you. It is a good split push sheet item. You can be more aggressive in the lanes. The thing is, once Beastmaster gets a blink, then this will not help you to escape. That's for sure.
Oh, okay, so Mushi goes Basher on the Ursa. So now one Basher apiece. Chalk it up to RNG.
Yeah, but one of them has overpower, so one of them is going to have a lot more chances to roll the dice in the quick fights. Anti-Mage does have a pretty low base attack time,
is under attack.
He'll get quite a few auto attacks off in his own right.
Now, a few other big items now. We see the Refresher on ROTK, which is probably the biggest, and even the Ember Spirit already with his next item, Crystallis, for those big numbers. BG smoked up around this bottom tier 2 tower. Mushi's nearby, but his team is all pressuring soon to be the tier 3 for BG, turning into
Dire's bottom tower
could be
under
kind of a
attack.
base race here. We'll see how these teams handle it.
Dire's
BG do not have a
structures
glyph for another 10
fortified.
seconds, though it will come up
Radiant's
just in
top tower
time.
is under attack.
Now, giving alacrity here to ZYF, and he pushes decently quickly with this. He'll chew away at the tower.
Dire's
Anti-Mage
bottom
not hitting
tower
buildings.
has fallen.
BG are going to have to back.
Radiant's top tower is
And
under
we'll
attack.
TP out Ursa, just staying in the base for now.
They get off the roar. They've got the double Ravage.
There's Ravage number 1. BKB already used by the Bat Rider. Burning uses his inflame. Will get caught by that second Ravage. Invoker and Ember Spirit, the first two to go down. Now Ohio swapped back into the base despite the BKB, and it'll be a 3-0. This time going the way of BG as Burning drops the Mana Void to secure the final kill.
Yeah, I'm getting quite a bit of visual lag, but yeah, double Ravage committed there for that. They also used that 10-second BKB, I believe it was. Yeah, it was. So it's a costly investment, but they get I think a good enough reward to justify it out of that fight. And BG, they're strong right now. Double Ravage, Anti-Mage about to complete his biggest combat item probably in the Abyssal Blade, and they just want to keep the pressure up. They know if this goes late and Ehome managed to farm and map control, they've got Tri-Core, they have a Bat Rider, and they're up against a single core. Uh-oh, DDC getting chased.
Yep, gonna be an easy one for Burning there. Just a freebie on the dire side of the map. Most of his friends are already dead, so feels pretty safe getting close to that tier 2 tower.
My soul, it burns. He is starting to heat up. Your B-God making his way back into the competitive scene.
Dire's middle
I hope
tower
this
is
guy
under
comes
attack.
back. I'm a huge fanboy. They're looking bottom though.
Mushi.
Land him in position to go on Mushi here.
Yeah, he's got a double damage
Dire's
rune, but
top
this
tower
line
has
going to give him a
fallen.
run for his money. There is a BKB on Ursa, but Blink Hex, one of the best antidotes, always going to try to TP out. Can they get there in time? Yes, at the last second. Turned into the fish. Lanham going to hit him with the Earth Spike, and, well, there's a swap, and there's a finger. They're going to save it. Won't even need it. Lion still secures the kill.
Yeah, figure was actually cooling down for a little bit longer.
Oh, was it still on cooldown? Whoops.
Yeah, it's
Whoops,
only level
daisy.
2. Uh-oh, Burning gets trapped
Dire's
here,
top
though.
tower
Does he have a
is
Mantle?
under
No,
attack.
just used it. Now they're going to silence him, but he just DKs.
Yeah, it'll be okay until the lasso comes in. Now the damage is there. Ember Spirit giving him the fiery sword, and
Man, is the
trade.
caster curse a thing or what? Oh, he's played so well. Burning's so good, guys. Immediately gets ganked and dies.
good night, sweet prince. He's still farming out of control, though. He's 50% ahead of the leading farmer for Ehome, and
He
that's
really
the Ember
has to be.
Spirit.
That's the nature of their draft. If he's not way ahead, they've pretty much lost, I would say. But even with him being way ahead, I don't think BG are too comfortable looking at this game strategically. As you can see, net worth actually favoring Ehome, experience pretty much even. And again, you run single core, natural hex carry on the Invoker. You've got the Lasso, the ultimate trump card, along with Doom to single carries, and they have an Ursa who can go man mode against a lot of carries with less items. If he just gets something like the Abyssal Blade, maybe one more head-to-head combat item. So I would not rest easy if you're BG here.
No, definitely not. Third Roche will be up reasonably soon. Gets pinged out by BG. They know it's right around the corner. Less than a minute till it comes up as Mushi pokes his little bare face in there and may just wait it out for a moment. Look at this ward coverage from the Radiant. They've got three wards in this general area of the Roche pit, both plateaus, and then right outside the shop.
Hawk. They have so much vision.
They know exactly what's going on.
They have a really good scouting lineup in general.
Yeah. And we're looking actually at Radiant Vision right now, so that's how much area. It almost looks like we're looking at the regular map.
It almost looks like Dire Vision. It's so much.
The way the wards overlap, it's just completely fluid.
Now, they did just scout Roshan with a Sunstrike, and he respawns like 8 seconds later. So, Ehome should know it's coming fairly soon. It's not quite a max respawn rush. I think it was like 9.5 minutes, 9 minutes. But mid lane, there's a jump in. Lasso on the Xiao Wei.
Yep, and there's your follow-up Orchid. Ice Blast will not connect. A swap out from Ice Ice keeps Xiao Wei alive, and Venge might actually live too.
Anti-Mage was Abyssal Blade, though. Ooh, RTK. He wants to Ravage, but he's going to hold it.
Yep.
They should look to fight this road. They have the Abyssal Blade. They have the double Ravage. BG are very strong right now. They might even just be able to walk into the pit and take Roche, because I don't know how you stop this Tide from ravaging, and there's only 2 BKBs in the home, so we'll see. They're not going to give it up without at least a bit of a fight.
Looking at Dire Vision right now. They've got a ward down right there, but still all the smoked up heroes. They see the ward die, so they know that BG are in the vicinity. They also can infer that they're smoked up here off this.
Uh-oh, Lanham looking for that initiation. He has the Blink and the Force. They get the Hex. This is the death of Ohio, and I think your Roshan's secured. He does not have buyback. Yeah, that's Roche. GG. That's a big pick.
Yeah, and of all the heroes defined there, that's pretty high on your priority list. Bat Rider, the master of the Roche pit. Here we go. RTK goes in. Ravage number 1 refreshes. Ravage number 2 connects on Mushi and the Ember Spirit. Mushi will go down. Invoker falls shortly after. Another double kill for Burning.
That should have been more. Burning should have gone. He should have Abyssal the Ember Spirit there.
He didn't Abyssal anyone.
Yeah, he should have Abyssal the Ember, killed him, and then you go back to the Ursa, because his Blink Dagger was cancelled, and he's not going to win a match fight. But it doesn't really matter. Still a huge win for BG. They get the Aegis.
Has fallen to the
Ember Spirit coming in, maybe thinking about trying to snatch it. You can actually pick up items while you're sliding, but very difficult to do, and not going to find either of them. Anti-Mage the one to grab the Aegis, and Cheese will go to ROTK at least for now. All of a sudden, though, things feeling a bit better for BG off that fight in the third Roche, and Golden Experience basically at that 0 threshold here, 37 minutes in.
This
is about as good as it gets. You got one more item slot, you can replace the treads, but you also have Aegis, and it's just the timing of how far ahead they are on the Anti-Mage. They want to look to... I don't know if they look to break the base here because they have no Ravages, but they want to look to completely choke out Ehome, get some aggressive wards up, use the Hawks to keep eyes, and then just punish anyone who leaves the base with the Abyssal Blade. Ehome are going to be kind of trapped back in their own base if BG play this properly. As you point out the wards earlier near the enemy secret shop, they also drop a new one now in the Dire Jungle, and they can just farm this and constantly be controlling top and mid, and just send the Anti-Mage to push out the bottom lane if need be.
Yeah, it's an interesting little ward spot right here, and gives you a lot of vision, but not one that you would typically expect to de-ward. We'll see. Ember Spirit jumped on, Abyssal, and brought down. Ohio coming in. Once Burning finds him with the lasso, but Burning's BKB. Bat Rider stopped dead in his tracks by the Primal Roar. That's the power of the Xiao Wei Beastmaster. Does it? Okay, that'll be the end of his Aegis as he comes back in. BKB on Mushi with a couple seconds left. In Flame, Hexed after the stun. They'll find the kill on the Invoker. Can they get any more? Does not appear so, but do they need more? Triple kill for Burning.
Oh no, no buybacks. Ehome, are they going to take their third punch on the chin of this tournament? They come into this match 15-2. In the driver's seat to win outright the group stage. It's the #1 team from the qualifier, but this is going to be trouble. No buybacks, Andrew. I don't know how you hold this.
This is really scary. The glyph has already been used. Burning now has an Eagle Song working on that butterfly you were talking about. Ice Blast flies in, only hit Xiao Wei, clips Burning. They will lose the mid lane of Barracks, and now BG right to the top lane. They will be unrelenting with this push and get at least the tier 3 tower here.
Oh, this is 2 racks. Ravages are starting to cool down. He's got one online. This might just be the end of the game. The Anti-Mage doesn't have Aegis right now, but he's going to have buyback.
He has BKB, Mana Void's back.
I think you maybe just go bottom and get the wave pushed out, but I honestly don't think they need to wait for another Roche. He could either he will just buy the butterfly. He's pretty much unkillable. They have no Hex on Invoker, no way to remove the evasion, and Ehome just relied so much on physical damage to kill the anti-mage off. Last fight, he ends up going down with the Aegis because of the Ursa focusing him, but if there's a butterfly, that's not happening, and it's out now.
Yeah, and it's also the way BG took that fight is knowing that they have the Aegis and they can be aggressive like that. So they're pretty happy to trade that item away for a team fight as they did, especially if you can get the jump on the Bat Rider and... Oh, man, really showing us the power of the Beastmaster. He's not quite as popular in the other metas in Europe and North America. You don't really see that Beastmaster coming out, but...
No, the last time we really saw Beastmaster a lot was in a very different role. Heading into TI4, the Tinker Beastmaster strats that, like, Fnatic were using a lot.
Right.
But outside of that, hasn't seen too much popularity. Burning, though, he's scouted here by CYF, but CYF does not want to tango with this guy.
Yeah.
In fact, he's in trouble. Oh, he does manage to clear off a wave and jump out.
There we go. Yeah, full Daedalus now on the Ember Spirit as BG. They're just going to tighten this noose, man. They are not going to wait. They're not going to hesitate for a moment as they push this bottom lane in. Xiao Wei a little bit behind, but he's just transitioned into full aura. Vlad's now into a pipe of insight to buff up the team. And, of course, Inner Beast has now reached its max threshold. Still the cheese on ROTK, and now that Refresh is available.
Yeah, he's almost got Chivas.
He's closing in.
It's funny how poor everyone else is on their team, but... it doesn't really matter.
Here we go, initiation. It'll be the Dire that starts this one off. They go into ROTK, but BKB's used, and Ursa gets taken out as the Abyssal gets dropped from the sky. Burning will not pursue any deeper than that, but Lanham wants it. Oh, finger on the Bat Rider, barely catches him with the Earth Spike. It's a fast kill on him. ROTK goes in, eats the cheese after the first Ravage, gets silenced, refreshes, now has the second one ready to rock and roll. Force staff forward, Ravage, there we go, secures the kill onto the Invoker. They pay with their Lion, but the Dire side just completely cleaned up.
Your soul. There it is. Anti-Mage does it in the end. Not a perfect showing from BG by any means, but this is a big win. Taking down Ehome, a peg, and a big step here for the wily old veterans. Mushi, he falls short in his showdown with his old teammates from China.
Yeah, very exceptional game from Burning, or maybe just a standard game from Burning. He knows that anti-mage like the back of his hand, played it perfectly. Like you talked about in the early stage, had that luxury of being able to farm basically uncontested, and it seems like every team fight he came to just pops in, takes out the trash, gets a double kill, maybe a triple kill, and then goes right back to farming. Ends the game with an 800 GPM, and whew, very impressive. So, just game one, though. We've got one more game between BG and Ehome coming up next, and we'll see if it'll go 1-1 or if BG can go for the full upset with a 2-0. I'm Zyori, joined by LD. We're going to have a short break, but don't go anywhere because more Dota 2 actions coming your way here for DAC China.